Many of us, including myself, grew up playing video games because you know it improves hand-eye coordination. Little did we know that video games would evolve into such useful and even educational tools of today. Enter in the VR, or virtual reality simulator. All right, something a little bit different today here in Lynn, Florida at the Haney Technical College. Maybe you've seen this tech, maybe you haven't, but it's brand new to me. It is a digital VR paint spraying simulator. So we're going to show you all about it today. So here we are, back at Haney Technical College in Lynn Haven, Florida. It's been a little while since I've been at school, and walking the halls of a campus felt a little weird. But this, in fact, is a school filled with mature adults that actually want to accomplish something in short order and get to work. All right, so Jeffrey, introduce yourself and what you do here at the college.
Okay, I'm Jeffrey McGee. I'm the auto collision instructor here at Haney Technical College. And we teach all parts of the auto collision industry. Everything from repairing the bodies to structural repairs, painting, and even estimating.
Yeah, this is a really cool place. I've been here a couple years ago talking on the aviation side, which we'll pop in there, get an update. But this school just keeps on growing. And it's based just outside of Panama City, like the Panama City-Lynn Haven line almost. And there's lots of stuff going on here. So I saw this posted on your social media site because I follow you guys. And I've never seen a simulator for painting. Now, you guys are using it for automotive. Obviously, this easily translates over to aviation, which is why I'm here today, because there's a lot of guys that are brand new into doing, aviation and building aircraft. And, whether it's metal or welding or paint, you don't want to waste your money on doing stuff. So if there is a place they can go and practice, hey, maybe this could save everybody some money. So when did you first see this, and what made the college decide to opt to get this into the program?
Well, when I first started working here, we had something similar to this, but we've upgraded now. This is the most modern one they have on the market right now. So, and I've seen it at other technical training that I've been to. So it's a great tool. It helps introduce people, especially people that have never painted. There's a lot to learn more than just spraying. You've got the gun itself. It has a lot of different adjustments on it, and learning how to keep a straight line, proper overlap. Those things take a lot of practice, and this saves a lot of time in the booth. They'll end up in the booth doing the real thing, but this saves tons of hours from my experience with new people, getting them acclimated to the paint gun. So
you can kind of hear it in the background. You even have the sound of the air going through the guns, which is a very realistic sound. So this kind of covers the baseline beginnings, like you said, setting up the gun, get an idea of what does what, and then seeing it kind of almost real life through VR, and how you said even the textures there, it even shows like drips.
Yeah, there's it has a lot of different screens you can go to and see exactly how you're doing, and it even gives you a score, so it'll show if you're getting runs or bad texture or your overlap's not good. It'll even show you a map of how you sprayed, so you can see how straight your lines are, things like that. It's important. That's probably one of the hardest things to learn, painting, because you're so concerned about the gun and the color of the paint coming out that you kind of forget, to stay straight, proper distance, and proper speed. And this machine does a great job at that, teaching that. So.
Awesome. Well, let's give this thing a try.
Okay.
So my name's Parker Smith. I've been a student at the auto collision class for about 3 months now. And this is one of our first projects that we start out with, is on the simulator. Like Mr. McGee said, it's kind of an introduction to spraying with a gun, and it translates well into an actual paint booth. So what's cool about this is it's virtual reality, and the paint gun feels and looks a lot like a real one. So on the screen you can see there's like a door, and it gives you a lot of your stats that you can see while you're painting. And as you go through it, you can kind of look at what you're missing, maybe your angle or distance is off, and try again and just keep practicing, and it saves a lot of time and money.
All right, so walk us through kind of the startup procedure getting this going.
For sure. So once you first start it up, it'll bring this menu up. You have a lot of different options to choose from. You can run through a tutorial. There's lessons that you can go through. We typically just do free painting to practice over and over again. It's got these 2 sensors built in that you'll use, and it tracks your headset and your gun. So you kind of want to hold this throughout to make sure it's positioning you in the right area. So you proceed with free painting. You have a lot of different options for locations, even like under a bridge or future world, like a conveyor belt. So you can choose just a regular garage, and as you go through, there's different options for different guns. We're spraying with high volume, low pressure guns in the actual booth, so that's what we choose for this. You got a lot of different objects you can choose from. We typically do the car door because we're automotive collision. And then there's different projects or like presets for your paint. We just choose the easy for practice. You can choose a color. I like red. And then there's different pressures, different tips for whatever you're spraying. So we usually leave this where this is at, and there's different offsets that you can adjust if you need the part in a different area. So once you go through all that, it'll load you in, and you can see the door right here and your gun. So once you have the headset on, it feels and looks like you're actually inside of the garage spraying.
So let's talk about the gun for a second, because this is what's supposed to help make it so realistic, and teaching students what does what. So walk us through what you do to set up the gun or in process.
Sure. So just like a real paint gun, you have your tip adjustment. So you want to make sure the angle's straight. That way you're spraying in a straight line. And then you have your adjustment knobs on the back that'll adjust like your pressure and your throttle on your gun. And that's about it for this one. It's pretty much the same thing as a real gun. Obviously you don't have your can of paint on the top, but the weight and the movement feels just like it does.
I was looking at that. Is that a weight on top to simulate the cup?
Yeah, and it's got the button to turn it on and off for the remote, but yeah, it feels a lot like the real gun. So the other part of the VR is the headset. Like I said, the sensors track kind of the position of your head, so you can move around in the booth and look at what you're spraying. So it's got eye adjustments on the sides that you can use. There's a lot of different adjustments in here. We usually leave it where it's at because you can see pretty well through the eyes, and then on the back you have an adjustment to fit your different head size, so it goes pretty wide or pretty narrow, whatever you need.
It's like a welding helmet, kind of.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, it's pretty simple. They make it really easy for you. So you adjust it to your head, you can see where the gun's at, and
wait a minute. So did you just pick that up off the table by looking through the VR goggles?
Yeah. So it
remembers where it's at?
But you kind of imagine where your hands are and feel around for the gun. But yeah, it moves around with you, and you can see the trigger moves when you spray it, and the knobs move when you adjust them. It shows you the angle of your gun with the dot. Then the distance shows you if you need to be too far or too close to the door. The speed, the bar shows you about how fast or slow your gun needs to move. It'll show you if you're spraying too wet or too dry. If you're spraying too wet, like that, then it'll start to run. You
Oh,
see
nasty.
Going down.
Nasty.
Yeah, and it'll come on pretty thick. So when you're spraying like a good, consistent green like that, then you turn it off, and you can see it's a nice coverage on the door.
We are partnering with great companies like Dynon Avionics at Dynon.com, Airtech Coatings at AirTechCoatings.com, Clemens Insurance at ClemensInsurance.net, South Mississippi Light Aircraft at FlySMLA.com, Foxtrot 95, Calhoun County Airport at FlyFoxtrot95.com, Edge Performance at EdgePerformance.no, Take a moment to go visit their websites at the links found below in the description of this video. And visit our website at experimentalaircraftchannel.com for events, our video library arranged in easy-to-find playlists on specific topics, and so much more. All right, so Jeffrey, walk us through as an instructor what you're seeing on the screen here and how that's able to translate to your student.
Okay, so Parker has a lot of experience, so he doesn't have a lot of technique issues, but we can look here and see any problems that he's having that we can adjust. And the only thing I really see with him is overlap looks great, everything's in the green, but you can see kind of the left edge here of the door, it's a little red, so that means when he's approaching that door with his paint gun, he's not quite up to speed. There's a certain speed he needs to go across the panel. And you can see it's a little bit wet there. So he can look at that himself and make that adjustment. He knows maybe he needs to get out a little farther with the gun so that he's got the proper speed as he approaches the edge of that door. And that's usually where, even with experienced painters, you're going to get runs and some paint issues, defects. And that's where most experienced painters are going to have an issue, is kind of on that edge. And it's usually just because they're rushing or they're pressured for time.
Oh, this is gonna mess me up. Oh yeah.
All right. My turn in the barrel here, right? So just, I've never really done this with these ocular, and this is really odd. Let me tell you.
Look up at the ceiling. Just kind of look around.
I don't have any hands anymore, though. That's the weirdest thing, right?
Kind of look up and look down. It's like
Yeah, everything's here. The shop HVAC system. You got the fire system. Got garage doors. Look at this paint gun just floating in the air. So I'm gonna grab. I need hands, guys. I need hands. So, all right. So we got the gun. This is awesome. Seeing this outside the VR, it looks like it's a joke. Like this is just a video game or something. But with the VR goggles, you could actually like almost squat down to try to get closer to the door. It is very realistic. I could definitely see the benefit of having this, for sure.
up here in the front part of the shop, we do all the bodywork repair for students to learn how to do filler and priming and all those things. And then on further down, you'll see a frame machine. And they learn how to do structural repairs. And so we keep a lot of that up on this end. And down on the other end of the shop is where we do the painting and stuff. So
Okay.
come through here, we have welding. So we have, the most modern type of welding equipment. We have the Pro Spot welder. And you come back here, this is where we do the painting. So we have this paint booth. This booth's capable of heating and baking paint, so we can get stuff painting and out quickly. And the students learn a lot of the prep work back here as well, like taping cars up. These cars are used to learn how to do taping and stuff. And in this room here is where we do a lot of priming, and some of the dirtier stuff goes on in here, but this is all ventilated.
Now let's take a walk across the campus to the Aviation Department. All right, so I figured while I'm here at Haney, we'd walk across the campus here and check in on the Aviation Department, because that's what I do.
Yeah, right.
And David, we spoke, I think it's been maybe 2 or 3 years now, about the need for mechanics. Everybody's talking about the pilot shortage, but of course equally in need is mechanics.
Absolutely.
And so it's been a couple of years. How are you guys seeing the industry as far as people jumping in and actually wanting to learn about aviation?
Okay, so in the last year, I would say, we have come up to capacity. Now we're running at capacity for our program. As a matter of fact, we still have so much need, industry calling to us, that we are going to open up another class. We're going to hire another instructor and open another class so we can add a whole new full cohort.
Okay, so you're bursting at the seams of popularity.
Bursting at the seams, right. And we actually have a list waiting for next semester. So when enrollment opens, I expect it to fill up almost immediately.
That is awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. So that means that people are interested in aviation, they're wanting to go work in the field. Now, when we spoke last time before, there was different things going on here at the school. There was a program, I think it kind of evolved into something else that had a certain month, that you had to go to school. What is that currently? Like, what is the program length for the A&P school here?
So there was a huge change in the regulations last fall that
Okay.
allowed us to condense our power plant program into one semester.
Okay.
We got approval from COE to do that. So now it's a 2-year program, so 4 semesters essentially. You come in, everybody starts in general, just like always, so they get that foundation for the whole program, and then they'll move to airframe for 2 semesters, and then to power plant for 1 semester. Also, we were able to test halfway through, so they can get their first license about halfway through, and they can take their test incrementally as they go along. So right after general, they can take their general written, and then they can move on to airframe. And once they take both airframe classes, they take that airframe written, take their O&P, and get that first license.
Okay, so if you want to get started in this, you can't kind of just jump in anywhere. You kind of do have to wait to a certain part in the semester to get going, correct?
Right. So we take in new students every August and every January. We take in a new cohort, which is 15 to 25 students.
Okay, awesome. And you obviously have several different rooms here for teaching everything from the sheet metal side of things to electronics and hydraulics, and then even the engine shop.
Absolutely. So it's a one-stop shop for all of it. So when you come in, your first semester is foundational. We learn weight and balance and physics and math and precision measuring and materials and processes, those things that give you the foundation. And then in the airframe, we cover everything on the airframe from structural repair, sheet metal, composites, assembly and rigging, inspection, all the way to all the systems, which is landing gear, hydraulics, pneumatics, pressurization, ice and rain protection, all that. And then we move to the power plant section, and we do reciprocating engine theory and overhaul, and then we do turbine engine theory and inspection and overhaul. So it's the whole thing.
Awesome. So the other part of being trained, of course, is for a purpose, right? You want to get a job.
Right.
So I think Haney helps with that. And where are you seeing students go from, graduates going from here? What kind of, is it airlines mostly, or where are they going from here?
So the trend has done a 180 from when I went to school. Of course, that was a long time ago,
Okay.
right? But most of us back then went into general aviation, and a few folks went into the airlines or the small regional airlines. So that's done a complete reversal. So now the vast majority of our students will go to an MRO, maintenance, repair, and overhaul facility that is doing maintenance on the airlines in the regional jets. Most of them go there. We have 4 or 5 companies that come here each semester and recruit directly from our classes. So PSA Airlines, Standard Aero, Pratt & Whitney Canada.
Some big
several
names.
of them, big names come and they recruit from us. And many of our students have a job offer before they finish up.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to hear it. Well, thanks for the quick update
Oh,
here at
absolutely.
Haney.
At Haney, enrollment for the semester starts the 27th of November. So right after Thanksgiving is when enrollment opens for the spring semester. And we're looking forward to a full house.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, that's kind of the update here for Haney here in Lynn Haven, Florida, which is just on the line of Panama City Beach. It's a great place to be. It's buzzing. This school, like every time I come here, it's under construction. They're adding a new wing or something to it. So it's a growing school. If you have any questions about the program, leave us some comments below. I want to come back here and talk to Dave. We'll do another update because it's been a couple years
Yes, right.
and go through the whole program. But yeah, leave us some comments and see if there's any specific questions you have about what it's like to go to school at Haney.
Absolutely.